he were a healthy 3-month-old cub, he would weigh too much legally for them to keep doing that. So they decided, well, we'll just not feed him enough. And so it was a good plan in theory if you don't, like animals at all. And so Arthur, at 3 months old, had never been given any meat and had only been fed watered down formula. So he was scrawny. He weighed about 19 pounds and he should have weighed 35 or 40. And so the government found out about this little plan and they took Arthur away from them. And he was offered to us, and believe it or not, at first we said no to a white tiger cub. Not because we hate white tigers or have anything against them, but because nobody hates white tigers. Everybody loves white tigers. Arthur, you're all done.
Is he gonna pee?
All done. No.
Okay.
What happens if you put something with a scent in there?
Arthur doesn't really care about it.
No.
Let's see, though. Let's see what we got. Banana extract. I don't think I like that. What about Beauty Rush Juice Berry Double Body Mist from Victoria's Secret?
That ought to get him.
Can I start humping the food?
Arthur says, I don't know anything about that. I'm neutered.
That little rat is just carried away.
Oh, what is that?
He says that didn't tempt
What
him.
about Kira? What do you think, Kira?
Kira's about to be woken up.
Kira! Kiwi. I'm ignoring you. You gave Arthur treats before me. Kira!
There, I got him with his mouth open.
Oh, wow.
Because she's a lion and she's moody. No, because she's lazy. That's what cats do at this time of day. They ignore you and they sleep. Okay, so we were talking about Arthur, and initially we said no to him, not because we don't love him, but because everybody loves a white tiger cub, and so he had a lot of options for where to go, and we wanted to save space for animals like Kira. Kira was a little broken lioness who nobody wanted, who was thrown in as part of a package deal. Remember that lemur cookie that we brought in as Jeremiah's friend? We had to take a broken lioness to get her. And so that is where Kira came from. She couldn't even step on a platform this high off the ground when she first came here. Her back hips were all kinds of wonky. She'd been stepped on by her dad as a cub. And she had a really bad attitude because she was all kinds of physically deformed, and so she couldn't have lion friends. And she said, I want to be social and I can't be, and it's making me really mad. She was really aggressive, really unhappy lion. And so she's the kind of animal that nobody else wants and that we want to save space for here. Arthur was malnourished, but he was still a white tiger cub. Pretty friendly dude for all intents and purposes. We found out, though, that he was going to go back to those people if he went anywhere that had ever had an escape or attack. We are one of very few facilities that have never had an escape or attack, and so we were a very good option for Arthur, especially because the government agency really insisted we take him, because they knew we wouldn't breed him to make other white tiger cubs or use him for any more photo boothing. And so Arthur came to live here. We were happy to have him, knowing we were a good option for him. And he has been growing ever since. He ate about 20 pounds of meat on his way over here, and just has been doubling in size ever since. He's fully grown at this point. He actually just got that hammock. He thinks it's the bomb. And Kira moved in at around the same time. She was a year old, a little older than him. She's a bit bigger, but as you can see now, she's much smaller. She's almost half his size. But Arthur has no idea, so if you guys wouldn't tell him, we'd appreciate it, because it works really well. Kira's still a little bit wonky on her back hip. She built up muscle around her injuries playing with Arthur. We rehabilitated her. She didn't have to have surgery. She can run all around this enclosure. She can jump up on top of the dens just like Arthur can. Oh, is that a stinky hammock? That's what that face means. Stinky. It can be stinky in a good way or a bad way.
Look at those teeth.
In domestic cats, it's called a Flehmen response. You may have seen it. They have an organ down the back of their throat that's kind of like a nose, but better. Oh, it might happen again. What do you think, Arthur? Stinky? You're the only one who's been laying on it. Okay, we'll see if it's stinky though. Oh, not still stinky. It's okay now. So Kira came in. She helped us teach Arthur some manners, and she kind of took the leadership role because she's a lion, and she's a year older. And so she taught Arthur some manners, and to this day, he listens to Kira whenever she yells at him, which is great because he's twice her size. Some really bad things could happen to her if not. And Arthur taught Kira